everybody. Welcome to a Thursday evening edition of Keith's Beer Reviews. I'm going to do something a little different this evening. Well, I want to get this out of the way before the first four games of the Sweet 16 of the tournament start. But I've been doing IPAs and barley wines and Imperial stouts and stuff like that, and I'm gonna do a porter tonight. It's one I've been sitting on for a while. Another one from Stone. It's a collaboration brew. I'm gonna do their Suede Imperial Porter. Like I said, I've been this 2013 edition. It's a collaboration with 10 Barrel and Bluejacket, two breweries I know nothing about. But anyway, from the website it says, when Parisi and Stone brewmaster Mitch Steele decided to collaborate, it was essential that they tap a special individual to complete their triad of fermentation domination. And they found just that in Tonya Cornett, the brewmaster at Bend, Oregon's 10 Barrel Brewing Company. Together they decided on a sturdy yet velvety base of Imperial Porter and developed a plan to celebrate the bounty of the environs in which it was produced, by harvesting avocado honey, jasmine, and calendula flowers, some from our very own Stone farms, and infusing them into the beer to create something complex and uniquely Southern California. Consider it craft cross-pollination at its finest. 9.6% ABV. Sounds interesting. I really do not know what calendula flowers are either, besides not hearing of those other two breweries. So let's get the lid off this and get the cap off this, and a little bit of a hiss, no smoke or anything. Going to use my Duvel glass here. I'm not going to pour a ton of this. That'll probably be about it for now. Cap the rest up. We got a dark, deep black. Yeah, I'm not even seeing any light or red or anything around the edges. Dark black, that's for sure. Just a pinky of a tan head. It's dissipating fairly quickly. It looks like it's going to be down to be a ring around the edge here for very long. Regenerates a little bit, but not much. So let's get a nose on it. Okay, fairly light aroma. I'm definitely getting some roasted and chocolate malts. Just a light note of cocoa. Some sweetness that's probably from the jasmine, I think. Definitely some floral notes there for sure. There's roasted notes in the front, and I don't know, maybe that's the calendula flowers. I'm not familiar with them at all, but there's some sweet notes in there, that's for sure. Some sweet floral notes, and you get little bitter chocolate and coffee. But it smells pretty darn sweet. You can tell it's a porter, but the sweetness is there. So let's get a taste. Interesting. Yeah, up front there's some moderate flavors of some lightly roasted chocolate malts. Some light notes of cocoa, maybe some, I don't know, some people say, oh, it's anise, some people say, oh, it's licorice. They're essentially the same to me. Hope our lights stay on. We're under a severe thunderstorm warning here. They were flickering earlier, so haven't heard any thunder in a little bit, so hopefully I'm safe, but after that initial sweetness there, then you get a little hints of honey and jasmine. It's not a real strong flavored porter. There's light to moderate amount of bitterness in the finish. Maybe there's some residue of some hops. It doesn't really say anything about hops, what they used or anything. But yeah, it's a interesting tasting beer. It's a medium light bodied, a little light for a porter, but it's within the range. It's, you know, it's definitely not stout thick, that's for sure. But so it's and a little bit of dryness towards the finish. Sweetness there, but it's not a sticky sweetness. It's just the sweetness, I guess, from the flowers they use, and maybe a little bit of that honey. But definitely, it's not a thick beer. So let me sit. I will sit and sip on this a while. I'll get this bottle capped up, and I'll come back after a while with the final thoughts and grade. Okay, I'm back. It's been 45 minutes or so. As this is warmed up, I noticed these flowery notes. I'm assuming the well, definitely, I can discern the jasmine, and the other one, I think, probably that calendula, which, like I said, I'm not familiar with, but definitely some floral notes in there. They're coming in a bit stronger, but it still doesn't overwhelm anything. The coffee and the chocolate and the roasted notes are mixed fairly well with it. It's an interesting beer, that's for sure. I mean, it's, now that it's warmed up, it's fairly bold flavored, really a little bit stronger than I have come to expect, at least for the style for a porter. The alcohol I've never mentioned because it's not noticeable at all. I'm not sure. Like I said, this was a 2013 edition. I'm not sure when it was done. I haven't really looked for the date, but it's got some age on it because I've had it for a while. But anyway, the alcohol is well hidden, and it's fairly easy to drink for 9.6%. I don't know. It's an odd beer. It's interesting. I'm glad I got to taste it, but wow, train or something coming by. Windows were rattling there for a second, but anyway, it's interesting. I'm glad I got to taste it. Definitely not really porter-like with all those flower-like notes in there. But I like a little more maltiness, a little more chocolate and or cocoa and coffee in my porters. This is pretty floral, but it's still a pretty decent beer. So I'm going to give the Stone collaboration with 10 Barrel and Bluejacket, their Suede Imperial Porter, I'm going to give it a good solid 8 out of 10. If you still see it, it's worth picking up. It's interesting to try. If you're looking for a traditional malty porter, you're gonna be disappointed. But it's interesting and definitely worth a shot. So till next time, everybody, cheers. Let's keep drinking good beers. Now I'm going to go watch some basketball.